video today. There seems to be a little bit of the divide thing going on. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I know for sure, right? Right. I embrace Americans. I embrace Haitians, Jamaicans, all sorts. You know what I'm saying? I embraced it, right? And there's a few people that's like me as well. So I believe that some of what's been projected, people do things for shock value, right? They do things for shock value. And what it does, there is a divide, there's a distinctive divide going on. But it's wrong in my eyes. I don't know about anybody else, but me personally, I think it's wrong to say that, over across the pond, they're like, they're like this. All right, you can think you make assumptions. You can make assumptions until when you talk to people and you find out that they're not like that. There are some very educated Americans. There is some activist Americans in the Americas. There's activists over here too. There's very educated people in the UK of Black descendant. They will know about the American history and stuff like that, because that's one thing that I think we are taught about. Plus, not only that, most of the I wouldn't say Black American news. Most of the American news come over here as well. Is always projected. So me, I like to learn, right? You know what I mean? I remember when I first found out about the Gullah Geechees in America, right? I found out about the Gullah Geechees. I went and I found out a bit more about it. When I heard them talk, I said, wow, they sound Bajan. Because they do, they sound Bajan. There's certain words that they say, pronounce or put or say that sound Bajan. And certain things they cook looks very much West Indian, right? So, or Caribbean, however you want to put it. So to me, I feel when people plant seeds in communities, there's a reason for that. There's a thing called divide and rule that goes on, right? So they will plant a seed and some fool will feed into that and they'll say, oh, the Americans are not like this, or the Americans are not like that, and this and this and this, and that and that and that. And I feel, right, that's where the divide and rule comes in, right? Obviously, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of shifts going on. There's a lot of this going on. There's a lot of that going on. So when people plant these seeds, right, I hate you because you're this, and I hate you because you're American. That's where there's a divide and rule. What about just getting to know people? I'm not saying a kumbaya moment, because there will never be a kumbaya moment, because everybody's character is different. Everybody is growing up in different environments. Everybody lives in different lifestyles. Everybody is in different understanding. Is when people like Choice project certain things. There's people like him and the lady that he's projecting who is Nigerian. This is why I feel that how the Americans are mad, because certain things is what's projected makes them mad, and they say, oh, the Africans want to be like us, and like America has a big influence on the world. There's a big influence, like the music wise, certain things like hip hop, for instance. I feel it's widespread, and that's undeniable. America has brought up the best hip hop artists, KRS-One, NWA, Tupac. I can't remember all of them. And they have a great influence. Even on TikTok, there's a guy that looks like Tupac right now, and he's Nigerian, I think, right? America has a great influence on a lot of stuff. America, Jamaica, and certain countries have influence on worldwide, right? Worldwide. So when you are saying certain stuff against the ones across the pond, right, you shouldn't, to me, what I feel, you need to have a conversation. I remember having a conversation with Peanut Nola about the indigenous aboriginals and all that, and I think there's other people, you know, and I learn a lot. Like the Gullah Geechee was one of the ones that I really liked more. I like the Gullah Geechee. Hi, anywhere. The Gullah Geechee is one of them that I really liked their culture. I like their culture. They are not the only ones in America that I say, oh, I don't like this because of this, or I don't like that because of that. There's Olatunji. It's like an African village in Carolina, and they're traditional African, and they're Americans. The guy from the what to call it, the chief of Olatunji village, his father went over to Nigeria, got initiated, he became a chief and all that stuff. High village life. And he got initiated over in Africa. Then he brought it here. But it's not just him. There's quite a few of them that brought Africa to, I would say, well, the traditions anyway. I don't know about anything else. And they brought traditions. Now, there's this thing that the elite, I want to say elites, the upper echelons people, and it's called divide and rule. They do it in Africa as well. There's a divide and rule. Remember the Hutsis and Tutsis as well. They put the black against the black. Oh, your nose is this shape. Oh, your face is this shape. You are not part of our tribe. You're not part of this. In Rwanda, there was a blood was spilt because of how a person's nose was shaped, how their eyes was, this and that and the other. That's what they do. It's called divide and rule. And mind you, people who have bad experiences, right, they tend to put it onto everybody else. My advice would be to Africans, UK people, American people, have conversations with people. Don't judge them. Don't say, like, right? You don't know a person till you spoken to them, right? I didn't know about Suriname. If I didn't meet Sol Arma, I would not have known about Suriname. I would not have known about, there's another place where Alexander come from. I never heard of that place before. I heard, he told me about the place. I learned the Americas and England are in bed together, right? So you have to think like that. You can't say because a few ignorant UK black people say stupid things that every UK person thinks this way. Because I certainly don't. Because I speak about a lot of American things. I speak a lot about African things. I speak a lot about Jamaican things. I speak about a lot about this one. To me, I see sufferation in every corner of the world. I don't see, my sufferation is worse than yours over there. No. Sufferation, trials and tribulations is in all walks of life. Children, particularly, who are unalive, is all over the world. Just the other day in Kenya, in Kenya. They did a broadcast on the miners and what was going on in the mines with the children, because the children was getting abused in the mines, right? And abuse is worldwide. I always say to people, abuse is worldwide. It's not just one lot of people going through it. It's a lot of people. When his human trafficking is worldwide, it's not just one lot of people going through it. It's everybody. Right now, there's a lot of stuff going on with the new president, the tariffs, the this, the that. Is hitting everywhere, everybody, whatever. Some people are running from England, literally running from England. They're running to Africa, right? They're running to wherever, Caribbean. That's how deep it is. My sufferation is not worse than another person's sufferation in another place. I just feel that there's a lot of propaganda being spread. I don't know what's going on. I personally ain't into that rubbish. Hi, Alexander. Yeah, see, Aruba. Is that Aruba? Yeah, Aruba he lives in, right? I personally, on this channel here, right, I see it like this, yeah. When I look at stuff, what's going on with people, I don't see, oh, well, they're American, I'm not going to talk about them. Oh, well, that one's African, I'm not going to talk about that one. Oh, this, that. No, I give my honest opinion on people. Yeah, people in fear because of the media. They're in fear because of the media. Not only because of the media, they don't talk to other people from other places. They don't be in certain chats, right? I be in. There's this lady called Vico. She's in Amsterdam. I think she's in Amsterdam or Netherlands. She's a Nigerian woman in Amsterdam, right? And she shows how Amsterdam is very pretty. Amsterdam is a pretty place, right? And she shows the difference. She don't speak down on it. She's in a whole European country. She don't speak down on it. Oh, I'm better than this. She speaks about stuff that is going on with the expat people and how they're taking advantage and how they're scamming people. Sonia, the same, right? There's others who's doing stuff like you have to talk to people to find out what's going on. Media do actually send you into some kind of fear bound, but you have to talk to people to find out certain stuff. Suriname was going through something the other day. I think Alma was telling me about it. I can't remember. They was going through something and Alma was telling me about it. You have to understand that people going like, oh, they're coming to TFR jobs and Do you know, over in England, they used to say that about black people in general. They didn't say, oh, well, the Jamaicans are coming to TFR jobs. The Trinidadians are coming to TFR jobs. They say, oh, the black people's coming to TFR jobs and our women and all this and all that. You sound like the oppressors. Instead of you, people, I'm not like, to change something, you have to be the change in a kind of way, which means that you have to find out about certain things. You have to educate yourself on certain stuff. I know we are going through transformations. A lot of things have been done in the dark is coming to light. Yeah, that's for sure. There's corruption, yes. Suriname, yes. Ex-Dutch Connolly, yes. A lot is happening in South Africa. Yeah, there is a lot happening in South Africa. There's a lot in South Africa. But Choice, how Choice is putting it out. You know, Choice spoke out a term before with the Keith Lee thing. Then I come to find out it wasn't so. So when Choice sometimes talks, he talks a bit cutting. You don't need to go down that road. If you don't like that particular country or people, that's your problem. Ain't my problem. That's your problem, right? I know. I've met American people. There's American people over here, right? And they're friendly. They will talk to you. you have a conversation. I've spoken to American people on IG, I think Facebook. I'm even in a whole group on Facebook. There are pure Americans on there. The divide and rule is disgusting. That's the first thing that was written in the Willie Lynch thing about the divide and rule. The young ones against the old ones. This one against that one. This is what's going on now. It's done in a different way. People are very crazy. Well, these immigrants coming last are causing a lot of big problems in Netherlands and Germany. I don't. Well, I'll find out more about that. Aruba is full against immigration for Aruba and Holland. Fix their country so they don't need to move. Yeah, but some people come over for economical reasons. They come over to work and stuff like that. Some people do that. Some of them, when they leave to work. They don't leave to play. I've met some over here. They don't play. They work. They literally, they'll be begging to go to work. They beg to go to work, right? So when you're saying certain stuff, like, I'm gonna find the choice what I was looking at just now, what prompted me to do this, because it's just disgusting. I don't know what's going on with people. No, some things doesn't need to be said. You know what I mean? Keep your opinions to yourself. If that be the case, if you that crazy, don't talk to the people. Then stay in your space. You know what I mean? Hold on, I'm gonna find where he said the lady, the Nigerian. I don't know. Some people think a certain way. Hold on. Even this here, where they meet these people? I would love to know where they meet these people to ask them these questions.
Not really, like, do you know what I mean? We don't really have things where we can say, yeah, that's our culture, period. But it's different for African people because their culture things, Jamaicans as well, yeah. In Jamaica, there's culture, but like, I'm saying for like people that live here and like in America, I wouldn't necessarily say we have like a specific culture.
All my who are not cultured at all, stop body. I don't want to hear, like, when I'm...
Kai Cenat is Trinidadian. I heard he was Trinidadian and something else. I couldn't believe he was Trinidadian and something else. The way he talked, I'm thinking to myself, are you okay? Are you okay? Kai Cenat, I don't know. They're different. Look what's happening in Sweden. Well, all the Muslim immigrants crying with. Yeah, well, you have to scream who is coming to your... They was screaming. They was doing that over here. As long as we are fighting each other, we are distracted to question them, and that's their agenda. Yes, that's true. That's true. They divide and rule. Like I always say, I keep saying to people, they're not going to ask you, are you indigenous? Are you this? They see a black skin. That's all they see. They see black and brown skin. They don't see nothing else. They're not going to ask you all that. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, this here is crazy. And it's on me, and and the thing is that it's on a big old YouTube, right? And they're talking like this. But people love this, you know, because people come to this and say, yeah, you know, there's a TikTok video with a lady, and she's talking about people with power and blah blah blah. And she said because they hold the power from what they've seen on movies and this that, she said that how right they love killing each other. They love unaliving each other. so we don't have to do it. I said, okay, that right there. When somebody talks like that, straight like that, that makes you know that they love to be divide and rule. It's divide and rule. But people are trying to come together. I feel some people are trying to come together, and then there's some people who's dividing it. There's agents of chaos.
Asking general questions. I'm not asking y'all. Stop body. That is black.
Listen,
you're black. But, bro, you're just fully American. You're African American, bro. That's it. How was that? See you in 30. That wasn't an insult. That was strictly you're black. You're not Trinidadian. You're not Jamaican. You're not African. You're not. Word. You are American.
I farted so loud.
What's your name?
Priya.
Priya?
Yeah.
Where you from?
I'm from Queens.
Queens?
Yeah.
Where your family from?
Here.
So you're American. You're straight American. You got no culture?
Well, not like that. Don't be shady.
Man, that's nasty. How old are you?
20.
20?
Where are you from?
From Brooklyn. France.
Where's your family from?
Nigeria.
Oh.
Africa.
How? Be honest. I feel like America, especially with black culture, I feel like America is like
they have black
kind of
culture
like the symbol
though. What are you
of
talking
it, so
about?
like all of your negativity is portrayed out there, but that doesn't diminish like.
Listen, they have. Listen, there's a lot of things that Americans have. They have jazz. They have blues. What else do they have? What are you talking about? They have culture. You know about Harlem Renaissance. All that come from their Treme Nola, Treme blues. Anybody listen to Treme blues? You know what I'm talking about. That rhythm has soul. When I can give several examples. There's a guy that sings in the subway, and he's from New Orleans, soulful singer, soulful. The man could bloody sing, and it touches your heart, like, you know what I mean. I don't know who you guys be tuning into. I know that how, right, people love negative culture of America, like negative. They pick up the negative things. It's the same with the Jamaican culture. They pick up the negativity of the Jamaican culture. Jamaican culture is worldwide. They got Kumina. They got so much things going on. Right, what spoils the country, of course, is the crime and the little things. But it's the same for everywhere. It's not just one place that's going through that. I'm thinking he's talking about ghetto culture of America. Well, even if he is, he could have worded it a bit differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're talking about something, talk about it like word it a different way, right? Because it sounds like you're like me. If someone talks against Trinidad, which Choice has done. I remember when Choice talked about Trinidadian, I think it was Roti, and when he got there, he was surprised how the people embraced him, how they treated him, how they helped him. He nearly got scammed by somebody when he was there, and the driver come and one of the not the maxi taxi man, one of the taxi man come save him, and he said to him, "No, you don't eat from there. You eat from over there, all right? And don't wave your phone like this." You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm naive. I don't know. I'm just saying, from my point of view, when I talk to people. Right, when I talk to people, is to learn. Some people are butterflies, social butterflies. They will talk to anybody. They will learn about them. They would embrace the culture, the whatever, the you know what I mean? I know what, like, at one point I was like I used to dress a certain. Well, I still dress a certain way. It's still there, but I used to be around Nigerians, a lot of actually African people in general, Rwanda, Ugandan, Nigerian, Ghanaian. I was around them. Like, I don't know what's other people's problem. I don't know. I don't get that. Even meeting a Suriname person, though I haven't met So Amma in person, right? But you learn, right? When she used to come and do her lives, I used to learn off of her. Peanut Nola, when he used to talk about the step, there's a step that is done in a dance. He said, look, this is like this, and this come from here. Like, you know what I mean? You learn from your counterparts. I don't see no. Even I think Kenyans as well. They listen to Feli Pupa and them, and then they listen to the Kenyan music, and they can be very traditional, and they can be, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel some people are just ignorant.
A lot of the positivity you get. Why do you guys focus on the negative styles, which I don't focus on the positive style?
Right, so about going too political into it, like America is the number one country in the world.
Do you think you're number one in entertainment?
Well, now you know. This is why a lot of people in the Black diaspora like to disrespect Black Americans. That video with the Nigerian woman made it very clear that they have conversations with their children about Black Americans. There you go. They are simply jealous as fuck. A lot of them.
If you go to a 90s video in the UK, you'll see them dancing. Remember when, who can I say? In the 90s, right? There was a lot of artists in the 90s that influenced England, even in Africa. There's old videos of Africans dancing to 90s music. Somalians dancing to 90s music and all that. I don't know where people seeing these things. I don't know. I just think that there's a divide and rule going on. And if you feed into that divide and rule, you'll never know or learn about your counterpart in the next place, in the next era. Yes, there's good and bad in all countries. Whether you're diasporan or not, there's good and bad in all. Nobody is special, right? Everybody's going through different struggles. What's his name? I'm not even going to say. When Rodney King got unalived, right? Everybody in the UK knew about it, right? They knew about it. When things happened in South Africa with Mandela, everybody was just there. Like, so I mean, yes, there is some people who has a little hang up or whatever the heck is going on. Well, like, if you're proud of your country and you are a foundation in your space and your mind and your soul of who you are, you should be able to interact with anybody. Because when they're in the UN, there's all countries there. There's all Black countries there. South Africa, all sorts. And they congregate so they can put rules on the people in the lower echelon, and people are not open to learning about another person's culture. That's your loss. Like, so I don't know what to say. I think on my channel, if I see anybody talking out of turn to another one, whether to an American, to a Jamaican, to anybody, I will delete them out of my space. I don't even care who you are at this point. If you come in here talking bad about Jamaican, Hispanic, whatever, I have to take you out, because there's lots to learn about people. Even when I did about the like the Chicanos and the, you know what I mean? Like I said, when I heard about the Gullah Geechees, I didn't know who the Gullah Geechees was. I didn't even know about the Gullah Geechee Queen until I think it was Red Squid or somebody spoke about her. Somebody spoke about her. I saw her and I said, wow. I said, who's this woman? Who's this woman going around trying to save sites? She's trying to save sites and make them sacred places and all that stuff. Then when the thing came on Netflix about the Gullah Geechees, the roots of it and all that, it's interesting to learn about something like that, because like you think to yourself, wow, okay, that's why we cook like this, or that's why we do like this, or that's why we do like that, or you know what I mean? To me, even Suriname, there's certain things in Suriname that is like Trinidad. Like it's very similar. It's very similar in certain ways, right? The spirituality is different. The culture, it looks different, but it's the same. Like, you know what I mean? Everything has a root. Like, you cannot you have to be open to a lot of things, because like you have to understand like the struggles. Like, oh, like I remember being in the conscious community and they would talk about the struggles, the American struggle, the English struggles over here, the struggles in the next country. Like, you know, that's how it's dealt with over here. I don't know any different. Nobody can't tell me differently. I'm hearing all this and I'm just like, what the heck is going on? But once again, it's divide and rule, innit? You divide the people and then like you can rule them and then there'll be no fight. And that's what I think is going on. And they can do it now even more better now with social media, because people is prepared to carry through the agenda without fail. And when you're carrying out the agenda, you are therefore saying, okay, you over there, you're not good enough, and Once again, if you go to one of my Keith Lee videos, you'll see that I definitely wasn't happy with what was said about what Keith Lee, because he wasn't happy with something. Everybody got their knickers in a bunch. Oh, well, Americans don't know this. You can't say that. You can't say that. Maybe, right, like, you know, I think it's the same with over here. Some of us can eat different foods and not like it. There's certain things of Ivory. I remember eating from Ivory Coast, things, Cameroon food. And there's some of the stuff I didn't like it, but I'm not gonna come on here and diss the program and diss them and this and yeah, right. You didn't like it, so you know for next time you ain't gonna order that again. Simple things. If you get scammed by certain ones, you have to go. You invest. You go around and you talk and you find out, because they might say, well, don't go to him. Because the African communities, right, they know who is who, and they'll say, no, you see him over there, don't go to him. Don't go to this one. Don't go to that one. They will tell you, right? They will tell you, okay? Hold on, I'm coming. I'm going to read your comments. Because it's very disturbing what's going on social media. I really have to double check myself. Like, what the hell? Look at the crime rate in Sweden. Look at the crime rate in Sweden from last 5 years. Boy. Well, I could say the same thing. There's crime over here too. It's not just black people doing it. It's Indian. It's this one. It's that one. It's everybody. Everybody does crime. A little bit of crime over here. I see it. I see it on the news. I'm happy. I'm seeing people in England and Germany, France are waking up. Slowly, but surely, people are waking up around the world. Some people was awake already. Hi, anywhere, anytime. I'm thinking he's talking about the ghetto culture of America. Yeah, people take on the negative side of the cultures. I've always said that. That's the same with over here. The Jamaican culture is very vast, right? Their culture is very vast. It's the food, it's the music, it's most things, but they choose to take on the slackness side of the culture, right? Right, there's educated Jamaicans. Like, you know, they'll be in schools, they'll be doing all sorts of things. They'll be trying to help the children in the school. There's like I said, there's good and bad in every country and every nation. Only people here acting like Black American ghetto is ghetto people here in Aruba, gangsters wannabe. Yeah, well, there's same over here, but now I think they got their own way of dressing. You eat roti? Yes, I eat roti. I bus up shop. I haven't had bus up shop in ages. What's going on? It's going up too much. I think culture. I think is culture, Caribbean, Black, American, African culture have same similarities, but that's what I just said. They're same but different. In there's little things. I don't think Black Caribbean are jealous of Black American. I don't think so neither. I think that is ridiculous. Because I've been around on certain platforms and they be talking about the Black American plight. They be talking about the African plight. They be talking about a lot of stuff. Right? They don't just say, "Oh, well." They talk about a lot of stuff. There's some people who's open-minded and some people who's closed-minded. You heard the Queen Khalifa? Okay, I'll take a look at her. I hope I remember. Trinidad for people and food is about the same, but the language is different. Yes, exactly. The one thing we have in common is the colonizer, and we are busy fighting. Exactly. It's stupid. It's so ridiculous. Which country are you talking about with the same colonizer? You know, it's worldwide. It's the same colonizer. Can't even say the word. They are the same because Trinidad had Spaniards over in Trinidad at one point. That's why they speak Spanish over there. It's part of their curriculum. The children are taught Spanish, and they speak the Trinidad. The way a Trinidadians speak is very quick and fast. Some of them talk very fast. Some of them talk fluent Spanish. Some of them, when they play parang, it's in fluent Spanish. So the Spaniards came over to Trinidad. I think there's another place where there's quite a few places where the Spaniards touched, and you can tell by the way they dance, the way they look, the way they move. There's a thing called Bel Air in Trinidad. It's French. Where the way the dress is made in St. Lucia, I think there's a representation of it in St. Lucia. I think it is. I'm not sure. There's one place, and then there's another different representation of it, right? But even there's a video of Trinidadians talking, and they're talking Creole. I was speaking of whatever melanated people are from in the planet. Yes, they have basically tried to colonize the planet, in my opinion. Yes, they have. But then there's people that's carrying out the carrying out the agenda. Like, you make it too easy. You make it so easy by coming on platforms like this, and there are millions of people watching. You don't know who's watching you, right? Right? There could be a whole white man, somebody watching me right now as I'm speaking. Now, what you are doing, you are feeding into the ridiculousness of this thing. You are saying him over there is no good, I'm better than them. They're over there ain't no good, I'm better than them. Well, like me, when I'm playing most of the music, like Optimistic, Kurt Franklin, like we play these music. We used to play New Edition. They're American. Ralph Tresvant, he's American. Who else? I can't remember. All them artists, they're American. Kid and Play, American. Right? People would dance in the club, England and America to these music. Right? Like, people will be going through certain stuff. Like, even the other day when I watched certain stuff, there's things that is done same but different, but it's the same struggle. It doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? It's the same struggle. Some people are struggling to get on their feet, and some people make it. You know what I mean? To say you must hate somebody over there. Because of what? What is that? What are you doing to yourself? You can dislike certain stuff. Like when I talk about my jazzy life as an example, she is dealing with the ghetto side of things. Not every black person live like that. Okay? Not every black woman deal with their children like that. There are some evil black women, and there are some women who love off their children. Not every black woman will show off their backside. Not every black woman is going to twerk. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is mad. This is crazy. It is crazy. I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't even know whether I explain myself, but that's how I feel. And like I said, if I see it in my comment section, I'm definitely going to take you out. I don't even care, because right there, right, you showed me who you are. I don't want it around me. I don't want to hear about it. That's why I don't do panels no more. Because I'm just not going to be about that life. I don't want to be about that life. Even somebody came on Passion Lisa's panel, and he said, oh, I think she was asking about the line dance or something. No, something she asked him about racism. And he said, oh, there's no racism over here. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's racism over here. We got racists over here, right? Some of them blatant more than others. I even spoke about it the day before yesterday. Some more blatant than others. But you're telling Passion Lisa, no, it's not like that. I've posted stuff where adolescents, they were saying, oh yeah, it should have been a black boy who did it, or something like that. Oh, it should not have been a white boy who did it. What are you talking about? This makes no sense. I'm just like, anyways, I'm not gonna stay on here. I'm just speaking my opinion. I'm basically saying on this channel there'll be this. I will take you out. That's what I know. Okay, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't even want to even feed into that, because I know where I stand on certain stuff. And I'm not saying that you have to agree with me or follow me like a cult. No, I'm just saying I'm not having it on my side of the YouTube. If you don't want to go to the other side of the YouTube, that's fine. But me here, I'm not having it. If I see it in my comment section, just know you're gone. That's it. Okay? All right? I don't want to hear it. I ain't into knowing the Americans. Oh, I'm better than the Americans. Oh, we're better than the Americans. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. All right. If you're going to say that shit, keep it in somebody else's channel. Keep it over there. I'm not having it here. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. And right. And all that. So yes, choice. I like how he projects the history of dance and different stuff, but he speaks out of thingy. He looks for the negativity in different stuff. There is so many things going on right now, right? The Mexican ship that went into the bridge, the something Confederate, something happened somewhere. The plantation house burnt down. I don't know. There's a lot of things going on. So people don't want to talk about that. There's positive stuff happening as well, but people don't want to feed into that. So if people are into that craziness, stay over there. It's a propaganda. That is propaganda. That's like when somebody used to say, oh, the blacks are dumb. Oh, they're stupid. They're apes or something foolishness like that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to deal with that because I know about that. I know the history of that, and I'm not doing it. Hi, Celius. I don't want to be about that life. I'm not about it. And on this channel, I ain't having it. I don't want to hear, oh, better than the Americans. No, I don't want to hear it. That be the case. Don't comment. Don't say nothing. Because if you say something, I'm going to delete you. Just know that. Choice is wrong in what he said. He's very wrong. Even Celius be around the Americans. She's around a whole lot of Americans. Right? She does content with Americans. She's from a whole island as well. She's from Curacao. She's from Curacao, right? And she shows stuff for Curacao. I can even use her as an example. I can even use her videos as an example. When you see them, they're dancing like soca over in their country. So why? What is going on? Why is the divide? Why you have to do? Why do you even project for videos like this? Oh, UK women are better than American women. What the heck is wrong with you? What the heck is wrong with you? No one's better than nobody. Maybe you might live a little more comfortably than the other one or whatever. That's it. If that, just say that. Just say, well, you know, I'll probably get more money than or whatever. Or you're looking at the economics because the tariff of what Trump is doing is have a knock-on effect on everybody. It's not just one particular country, because people trade. There's trades and stuff going on, importation, this, that. But you know what I mean? Maybe I'm gonna play a little bit more choices thing. I'm even gonna play with that African lady that he pulled up. I've even heard. I know there is the view in Nigeria, but some Nigerians are ignorant to certain stuff. Yes, they are. But at the same time, there is some very educated Nigerians. Not everybody lives in a hut in Nigeria. They don't live like that. Some of them live very poorly, and some of them don't. So, anyways, don't let me go back into. Let me find it.
Are you a foster carer who's foster child?
This is ridiculous. This
If you go there in the first place. So is that acknowledgement that the African American community are expecting of us, especially those of us living abroad in America?
Okay, can I say something? And as y'all can see in this video, she says something very triggering, but it pretty much went viral because it stirred a very ugly debate that a lot of us have been having for years.
I can't categorically say every Nigerian got this talk, but a lot of Nigerians that travel abroad got this talk from their family, where they'll sit you down and tell you, you're going there. Don't go and talk to those Black Americans. You just go and get pregnant. You get into...
And that's ridiculous too. Why would you say that to people? Why would you? That's like someone saying, "Oh, don't go over to Jamaica. The Jamaican men would impregnate you and da 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 da." But It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm just like, what the hell are you talking about? She's ignorant. She's an ignorant one. She obviously hasn't traveled America or traveled anywhere. She don't know. She's going by hearsay and whatever. There's gangsterism in all over the world. There's triads, there's mafiaism, there's this one. You cannot come on your platform and talk like that. I don't expect a backlash. Propaganda is real, man. Hold on, I'm coming.
To drugs, you start become the gang banging. They give you that talk that just go to the white community, find a nice place. They just go and be decent. Stay with the white people. They give you that talk. So when you enter America, you already have a perception of African Americans. You've judged them. And of course, they can see that judgment in your behavior towards them. And they see how you are almost like, yes, master, to the Oyimbos. They see, they're not blind. So when they have that feeling of, when they become defensive, when you're in their presence, it's because they see that perception you have of them. So I know I got that talk. And a lot of Nigerians got that talk. So we are over there, we are doing well, we are doctors, we are building houses, we are feeling like, so we'll come to the land of the living, we are the land of the plenty, and we are doing well. Forgetting that some people sacrificed for you to even go there in the first place. So is that acknowledgement that the African American community are expecting of us, especially those of us living abroad in America?
Okay, can I say something? And
she's chatting Ross. She's chatting rubbish. She's chatting rubbish. I'm not even going to entertain this bullshit right now. I ain't. Oh, my thing's stuck. Hold on. Thing keeps doing. Alright. Thing's gonna keep blinking. Hold on, let me take you off the screen because it's gonna. But it's going. Reptilian. Look at the president, Picasso. Oh yes, I know about him, Abraham Tor. I know about him. Okay. Ahura Celius. Ocean Yummy, everyone in the chat, I'm listening. Okay. Yes. Okay. Vampires despise all races. They thrive off every kind of division of mankind. The church causes all wars. Zionists are behind the injustice. For centuries, we are behind the trapped in the loop. Yeah. My people are heart people. Peace, session is passing through. Yes, Celius, that's what Choice is doing. Hi, Sonia. Yes, that's what Choice is doing, spreading stupidness. This is the second time he's done this foolishness. He did it when Keith Lee was there. Now he's doing this craziness again. I'm not into that. But I'm gonna try not to stay on here too long because it's going on 11 o'clock. I've said what I said, and if I see it in my comment section, I'm gonna take you out. That's how I feel. and in my chat, I'm gonna take you out. I don't wanna. I'm not dealing with that propaganda stupidness. That is just stupidness. Divide and rule and all that palaver. No. You can learn a lot from a lot of people from different countries and different actions. I can learn a lot from Americans, and they can learn a lot from me, and it's vice versa. Sometimes, right, you can agree to disagree, and just leave it at that. You don't have to agree with everything, but like you can agree to disagree, and that's it, right? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I ain't gonna let this go into too later. You can watch on the replay. You can tell me what you think. Choice is really doing his work. He's doing the work because he went over to Trinidad. I put on my community tab where he went over to Trinidad. He was so rude about Trinidadians roti and this and that. When he went over there, he got humbled because he saw the people was not like what he thought they was. So you can't say that. And once again, he always puts his foot in his mouth. He does it, but nobody says nothing. They just let him continue saying whatever he's saying. No, you can't say them things. You're wrong. What you're doing. You are fulfilling the propaganda, and you're continuing the divide and rule. You can agree to disagree. You don't have to agree with some people's way of life. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to agree with whatever. You can say, you know what, right, let's agree to disagree. Leave it at that. Boom. You don't have to get in at it. Even I heard something yesterday, but I don't mean to say I agree with what they said. Like, you know, I seen people from different countries come over here looking for work. They'll be in training. They'll be trying to get jobs. They'll be like, how can I get work? They'll be like that. Like, there is some criminal peoples, yes, but it's in all nations, all walks of life. It don't matter who you is. White, black, orange, pink, purple, whatever. England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, whatever. So, you know, yeah, exactly. We could learn from each other. Even me, I wanted to find out from Cedar about being married to a Nigerian. I really want to know about that. Like, because I know West Indian women who's married to Nigerians and all that stuff and all that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not gonna stay on here long. I'm gonna come off, and I'll see you in the next one. So thank you, people, for coming and putting your opinions in the chat, and new ones as well. Anywhere, anytime. Village Life, Alexander, Rita. Let me see who else. Celius, No, Sonia. Yes, so you know, choice is something else. I might just play. Actually, let me play a little bit more of it. Hopefully, my thing ain't gonna play up because it's mad when it plays up.
As y'all can see in this video, she says some very triggering but intense and real shit. So I will use myself as an example. I am obviously Black. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I am. And I grew up with an immigrant mother. My mother is from an island called Española, also known as modern day Haiti. And initially, since her first language was French and she had to eventually learn English, she was treated very differently, not just by a lot of people in America who were obviously racist, but by Black people who were in America. She saw a lot of ugly aspects of Black culture. And growing up, my mother would say a lot of weird things, such as, I don't really want you to go to that predominantly Black school. I just don't want you guys to go there. Like, I want you guys to go to more of this school. And when she would talk about what school she wants to go to growing up, it was the predominantly white schools, the schools that weren't predominantly Black. I also had aunts and relatives that would make slick comments like, I don't want my kids going to, you know, those vile Black American schools. I just don't want my kids going to those Black American schools. Meanwhile, a lot of us are Black, and if
And what you're doing, right? What you're doing right there is continuing the ignorance. That's what you're doing right there. Right? You don't have to continue that ignorance. You don't. You don't. You honestly don't. It's just ridiculous. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to say that, and I said I'll finish, but I just have to say that he's continuing the ignorance of his mother. Right? Right? My daughter taught me a lot of stuff about other things. I was ignorant to a lot of stuff. And my daughters, well, my children taught me other things. So you saying that is ridiculous. Morehouse is the biggest education center, black educated center in the Americas. Morehouse University. Harvard, is it Harvard or Morehouse? But those places are the biggest, educational houses in America. So your mum is stopping you from getting to that, by telling you that now, right? She's setting you up. Or I mean, it's good to be in white spaces. Yes, I'm not saying don't go to white spaces or don't learn from them, but at the same time, right, there is Morehouse. People fought blood, sweat, and tears so that there can be an educational space, because America was segregated, right? You cannot sit in a classroom with a white person, and me as a black person couldn't sit in a black space. They had to fight to get into them spaces, had to fight, right? There's people, I forgot her name, the little girl who went on the steps. She has to be escorted by police to get into those spaces of learning. So what you're doing, you're stopping it. Even Alec Baldwin came over to Oxford University to have a discussion with the white people over here. Right? He taught them about Black America, right? And what the struggles of Black America was, what was going on in Black America. You cannot continue the ignorance. Yes, some things you see, yes, like I said, I get the example of the way the woman was going on yesterday or the day before yesterday, right? But your children has to exceed, and they have to go into these places, right? If people didn't fight, because remember, Black people weren't allowed to read, they weren't allowed to do certain stuff, they weren't allowed in certain places. Maybe in Mississippi, still segregation now. That's why Kendrick, I forgot his name, Jenkins, had the issue, and he didn't get no justice. There's so many things I can pull from the Americas, right? Over here, it's the same thing. They had a white area for the white ones to drink from and a black area for the black people. But then some black people, they used to have speakeasies and stuff over here. They used to mix with them, right? They didn't want to board them. They said no blacks, no Irish, no dogs. It's called learning. You're learning about another place. You're learning. You're in places there, right? And it doesn't mean to say that you're superior of the blacks that are there, because they've been through what they've been through, and you have to talk to them. You have to work with them, right? You have to work with them. You're in the environment with them. That is pure ignorance. It's pure ignorance, honestly.
Not mixed. Like, most of us are black, and they would make those comments. And growing up, it always kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm just like, damn, aren't I a Black American? Why would y'all say shit like that? You know, I would hear those kind of things and be like, damn, y'all really feel this way about Black Americans? And I never felt the need to jump into it, because I'll just be like, well, that's just their opinion. But growing up, even on the internet, sometimes when I'm talking about Black issues, sometimes people who are foundationally Black American, who built this country from the ground up, they'll say things such as, why don't you worry about your own country? Or sometimes I'll say things such as, well, you know, I really recommend a lot of Black people get passports, because a lot of us don't have passports.
And when they say that, right, you say, you know what, right, we're all going through the struggles. I understand your struggle. That's what you say. And you knock that on the head. You knock that on the head. Like when I did Sonia Massey's thing on her great grandfather. I would always bring that up. Sonia Massey is a great example of that, because her great grandfather, the same struggle she was going through with the police people and stuff in that same area, her grandfather was going through it. But he got lynched, he got unalived in that same area.
Passports. And one woman said, "Why don't you worry about the shit that's happening in your country instead of our country?" I was like, bitch, first of all, I grew up in America. How dare you fucking say some shit like that to me? But for me, I kind of have to empathize, because that just shows the divide with Black Americans versus Black foreigners.
Have you ever?
He just fed into the rubbish. That's what he did. Well, I don't even want to hear this dude. Pardon me. I don't even want to hear him. All right, let's.
Schools, our high schools, already thinking that they're above us. I'm not saying that it's right, and I'm not saying that this is everybody, but I do feel as though that, speaking from someone who was raised by an immigrant, that this is a conversation that's oftentimes had. And most people who are Black immigrants who are in America will tell you that their parents and relatives said the same thing about Black people from America, because they feel as though that Black people in America set the standard and they overshadow all the other Black people who are in America.
Really?
I always say this: there is no such thing as an African American if you have no idea what African country you came from. There is no such fucking thing. It's bullshit. And let me tell you why it's bullshit, even though this may rub people the wrong way. It's bullshit because if you go to Africa, they'll automatically know that you're different. You go to Africa, they'll hear your accent, your mannerisms, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress.
Some people go to find out their roots. Dinas Demir is a very good example of that. Dinas Demir traveled all different parts of Africa. He went from, I think it was South Africa, the Dogon tribe, I can't remember where they are, and then he went back to Nigeria. He became a prince in Nigeria. So that's not everybody. That's not everybody. You have to word your things better than this, man. He keeps doing this. Anyways, I'm just going to play that little bit and I'm going to come off. I'm not staying on here till 12 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to stay on here till 12 o'clock. I just want to just make my point and come off. I just feel that how this is a whole heap of propaganda, divide and rule. And if people want to feed into this BS, they can stay in their corner. I don't want to be in that. I ain't going to even entertain that. I don't want to hear about it. And if I hear you say it, then I'm looking at you sideways, because at the end of the day, right, people, we all going through different types of struggle. Everybody's going through different types of struggle. But there is some immigrants who is not good. Yes, there is. But that's not all of them. Right? Some of them come over to work and do what they have to do and send money across to their family and stuff like that, because they have to send clothes over. They have to send this over to their family. They send that over to their family. That's how it is for some people. Some people, they will do the lowest grade type of work. They will clean out toilets, clean people's shimmy, all sorts of craziness, the lowest of the low job. They will do the lowest of the low job and send money to the people. Some people, yes, there is criminals. Yes, I ain't gonna say they ain't criminals, but it's not all. It's not all. And some of them, the ones who mistreat, who is whatever of foreign descent, who mistreats people and stuff like that when they're in nursing homes and that, they are no good. They should be struck off and gone. And let the ones who want to be there for the people who wants to work, let them work. You should not be putting stuff in a child's head. Oh no, you mustn't talk to the Americans. You mustn't talk. What the heck? That's ignorance. Anyway, let me just come off. Right, but thank you people for coming in. I'm not going to play no more of his video. I feel some things he's very ignorant on. I can't deal with him. I might have to unsub from him because he's really annoying me right now. And I don't like that fact that he's doing this. So, yes. So, I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Let me play. Hi, welcome to Ocean Yemi's channel. We talk about, we react, we do reviews, we do other videos on. Please subscribe and tap in and let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what's going on, what's big, what's bigger,